It's Parasite SEO manual action mayhem today. SEOGeddon has begun officially. We've seen a bunch of crazy stuff happening, including manual action penalties for the site reputation abuse update. It's Julian Goldie on the ones and twos, and today we're going to walk through some of the craziest stuff that's happened so far. Now, if you haven't seen already what the site reputation abuse update is about, basically this is clapping websites that are abusing their domain rating to rank for all sorts of crazy stuff way outside their niche, ranking for coupons, all sorts of stuff. And some of the things that are going down today are pretty crazy. In fact, one of them I've seen that's an update for Parasite SEO. And this is pretty wild because it's not even related to Google, but it's one of the biggest parasites in the world. Who have we got? We got Samir who says, "Hi, Julian." And we got Code in Your Business who says, "Go to sleep, tweaker." I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even drink alcohol. So it's popping off today. We got all sorts of crazy stuff. We're going to get straight into it. Bear in mind, I only create these lives for like 60 minutes a day, but it is entertaining and I love sharing the drama with you. So what I'm going to do is pull up some of the craziest tweets and things that have happened so far, and we shall get straight into it, my friends, because I think this is one of the most dramatic things I've seen for a while. Let me share my screen and I'll show you what the heck I'm on about. Let's get into it. Here we go. And Ismail says, welcome back. And Formalite says, "Hey Julian, shout out to Formalite. Good to see you on here." So this is actually one of the reasons that I do these lives, is because I want to share the drama. One of the drama and most dramatic things that we've seen today is from Vlad. So Vlad tweeted this out today and he said, "Seeing the Parasite directories from Outlook India, Times Union, Post and Courier, and SF Gate completely de-indexed from Google right now, to name a few." Now, I called it. If you check out my other videos from earlier over the weekend, in fact, we'll pull these up right here. If you go back and you watch this one especially, about what I predicted, I specifically said Outlook India is skating on thin ice, and today it has been hit with a manual action penalty. I think a lot of us could call that, to be fair. I'm not going to take too much credit, but this is crazy to see that they've finally been hit. Jeff Megan says Google hates us all. Well, I mean, even the Google publisher case studies have been hit. So no one is safe. No one's on safe ground right now, and it's a very temperamental time. And Dragon says very early. Absolutely. It's really early days right now. So if you're not familiar with this already, like what's happened so far is a site reputation abuse update I don't think has even been rolled out. And what I mean by that is algorithmically, this update hasn't been rolled out at all. If you check the latest tweet, let's pull this up right here. I think we can get it with Google Search Liaison on Twitter. Let's pull them up right now and we will look at some of their recent replies right here. So they're talking about what's happening on and stuff like that. But they said, basically, Barry Schwartz, shout out to Barry, said Google begins enforcement of site reputation abuse policy with portions of sites being delisted. Sites like CNN, right? CNN, massive brands, USA Today, LA Times, and others were algorithmically hit. Now, I think this is a mistake. I don't think they've been algorithmically hit, as much as I respect Barry. What I've seen so far, and this is what Google Search Liaison have confirmed as well, is that actually they're only doing manual action penalties right now. So algorithmically, this hasn't even happened yet, which is crazy, right? We're just at the beginning, and all of these sites have taken a huge hit right now. And so, yeah, they're only doing manual action penalties right now. I'm going to pull up some examples of manual action penalties and the screenshots for that have been posted on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter and you're not following the drama, grab some popcorn, get yourself an account. It's popping off on there right now. And how I solved it says Outlook India is an old sinner. I mean, shout out to Outlook India. Like, they've done well. They've done what they needed to. They're infamous, aren't they? They're infamous. They've made a lot of money. They've had millions of traffic. Technically on Ahrefs, they still get millions of traffic, and they're probably still ranking for a bunch of keywords, even if they've had some directories manually de-indexed. So let's look at Outlook India. This is going to be a good example. And what we can actually do is pull up their keywords and their traffic for today. But if we look over the last month, we can see that according to Ahrefs, so it's just an estimate, but according to Ahrefs, you can see their traffic has dropped a little bit. So at the start of the month, it was at 4.3 million. and at the start of May, it's at 4 million, right? So it's dropped by about 300,000 traffic a month. According to Ahrefs, these are just estimates. I'm not going to say they're 100% accurate. But if we pull up some of the keywords here, what we can actually do is check the 7th of May, and we can actually compare that to the previous day and just see what's dropped, what's not, what's popping, what's ranking. You can see they've still got 905,000 keywords right here. But this is pretty crazy to see. So some of their keywords have actually gone up. You can see an increase of 11 positions change right there. Let's have a look and see what's going down. We'll see if anything's disappeared. Sometimes on Ahrefs, you can see certain pages have dropped off. So let's have a look at this one. So for example, Garros, that's a KD0 right there. It's actually increased by 90 positions if we compare the 7th of May versus the 6th of May. And I'll try and pull up an incognito window and just see if they are ranking or not. They might not be, but let's see if they're still ranking. So I can't see them ranking right there. Might be dependent on just being in India, but let's have a look at some others. So we can see IPL records right there. Let's see if Outlook India are actually ranking. Yeah, so we can still see Outlook India are ranking for some keywords right now. Like they've not been absolutely demolished, but I think they are dropping down to like the second page or so. By the way, if anyone's got any comments or questions or anything like that, feel free to just post them. I'm happy to read them out or even help you on the spot if I can. But yeah, just to clarify, so from what we've seen, Outlook India have had some directories de-indexed, but the traffic is not completely gone, and they are still listed on Google. So it's not completely over for them, and that's with a manual action penalty. Now, one of the interesting things about this, right, is with these updates, it looks like these big publications, and bear in mind, a lot of them are super high DR, they're getting tons of traffic, making a lot of money, like some of them hundreds of millions, right, like CNN, crazy big brand. But one of the craziest things about this is if you look at, say, the helpful content update, and I'll pull up an example right here. So if we go onto Google and we type in, I think it's wealthofgeeks.com. So they got de-indexed during the helpful content update, right? And if we pull them up and we put site : Wealth of Geeks into Google, you can see that they're not even listed on Google, right? So these sites that got hit algorithmically or manually during the March core update on March the 5th have been completely de-indexed from Google. But obviously, like we've just shown, sites that have been hit during this update, the Parasite SEO, the site reputation update, whatever you want to call it, they are still indexed on Google. And it's just like a few directories, which actually means that they might not take a massive hit in traffic. They might just get hit by like, I don't know, 5 or 10%. I'm not 100% sure, but that's just something I've observed so far. And it is crazy to see this so far. So I'm going to pull up some more screenshots and show you some more of the drama. If you do have any questions, feel free to post them. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep blasting through what I've got here so far. And if anyone has any questions about the site reputation abuse update, just feel free to post them. Like I'm happy to shout out anything that I've missed, or we can cover some of the things that have been missed so far. So this is one of the other craziest pieces of news that I've seen, and it's pretty wild. So let me show this. And it's very, very interesting. The timing of this is bizarre. But as you can see right here, according to Yvonne, posted on Twitter, Outlook India is blocked in France by the authorities because it provides illegal online gambling services violating French gaming laws, right? Crazy. So this was posted on May the 7th, 2024, so today. And you can see that this is some sort of crazy authority, the National Authority of France or whatever. I don't know. ANJ, I'm not sure what that stands for. I studied French at school for 2 years, but I can't speak a word apart from bonjour and baguette. But what we can see here is a pretty alarming warning that says kind of, yeah, this is blocked right here. And you've got the ANG-FR as the email address to contact if you want to contact them. So it's pretty crazy to see that some of these parasites are not getting penalized for what they're posting directly on the website. They're not getting de-indexed or anything like that. Some of them, the whole site is not getting de-indexed. But what we've seen so far is that actually this site has been blocked directly by Google, directly by some sort of French authority, right? Absolutely wild to see that. Let's see what else we've got here. So Prussian Prince says, how does the update affect affiliate sites? That is a really good question. So I'm going to pull up some notes right here, and I'll walk you through what I think. Right. So obviously, it's very open to interpretation, and anyone who tells you otherwise is misleading you. So I'm just going to show you what I've seen so far. So let me pull this up. So in terms of impacting affiliates, right? So number one, affiliates doing Parasite SEO might get hit, right? I think some pages and directories will get de-indexed manually by Google. Some will get hit algorithmically, which will roll out. I think that's going to roll out anytime soon, but it's not been officially announced. And obviously, as we saw from the Google Search Liaison Twitter account, they've already said that nothing has been algorithmically set up and everything's manual so far. And then additionally, what we're probably going to see is some pages and directories will get removed manually by the site owner just out of fear. Like we've already seen that with, for example, Forbes. I'm not sure if that's 100% the case, but what it looks like is Forbes actually de-indexed some of their coupon directories because they didn't want to get hit by this update. And obviously it has affected a bunch of directories related to that sort of stuff, right? So a lot of affiliates doing Parasite SEO will still get hit, but here's the thing. It's not going to happen overnight. So this might be the first update of many. I don't think this is going to wipe out Parasite SEO overnight. I know plenty of Parasite SEOs who are not worried at all. And it's quite interesting to see what's going on right now. The other thing that I can imagine when it comes to affiliates and content sites in general, right, is that if you did not get hit by the latest updates and your site is in a positive ranking state, aka its traffic is going up over time, then I can imagine you're going to swallow up some of the traffic that these parasite sites got hit by or lost, right? Because if someone gets hit on the directory or something like that and they're ranking for keywords related to your affiliate site, then someone's got to rank number one for that position. Now, so far, what we've actually seen is that actually a lot of parasite directories that have been de-indexed have been replaced by other parasite directories. I'll come on to that in a minute. But essentially, what might happen is that a lot of parasites get hit, a lot of parasite pages, and that gets replaced by affiliates. It's a long shot. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't see a good future for affiliates in general when it comes to SEO, and I'm just being 100% honest with you. You know me, I wouldn't be SEO, but that's what I've seen so far. Eli says it's to translate to the National Authority of Games, which is Lotto in this case. All right, thanks for the interpretation there. Glad your French is better than mine. And Red says Outlook India is like a. Okay, I'm not going to read that one out. That was a cheeky one. How did that slip through the StreamYard submissions? And then Eli says, what about educational websites? Yeah, I think educational websites are actually really good. Like if you're targeting info products, for example, and you're an educational website selling online courses, communities, memberships, etc., then again, I think you're probably in one of the best positions out of everyone, especially compared to, say, niche sites or especially compared to, say, affiliates. And so potentially you could get some of the traffic that's left behind by these parasites. But again, it's really early days and no one's been hit properly, right? There's just a few manual actions here and there. People have lost a little bit of traffic and that, but nothing crazy. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please smash a like on it. And Tyler says, after this Google update, are backlinks still as important for getting my website to rank higher in search results? Are there other things I should be focusing on more right now? So one of the best ways to find this out, and I don't want to tell you just buy backlinks because obviously I run a link building agency and that would just be me shilling my own stuff. So what we can actually do is just check a few keywords directly on Ahrefs and just see what's ranking and how they're ranking, right? So we'll start off with something like, I don't know, a backlink's important. We'll plug that into Ahrefs and just see what's ranking, right? So you can see already Ahrefs says you need about 183 backlinks to rank top 10 for that keyword. Now, of course, you still need content. You can't rank without content, but that seems to be the main ranking factor when we look at these sort of keywords. I'll show you an example in a minute, right? So if you look at this particular example, you can see that the pages with the most backlinks, right, are typically towards the top of the page, right? So you got one with 162, 767, 2,261, etc., all in the top 3 or 4. Then if you look at the bottom results, you can see that the pages with the least backlinks, so 3, 90, and 26 right here, have the least backlinks and they're ranking towards the bottom of the page. So I don't want to tell you like, yeah, backlinks are the be all and end all, because obviously I have a link building agency. And if you do want to book in a call about that, feel free to check out the link in the comments description. But I just focus on facts over opinions. What can I see on the screen? I can see that the pages with the most backlinks are the ones ranking at the top. The pages with the least backlinks are the ones ranking at the bottom. And again, if you go onto the second page, what you actually see here is that pages with no backlinks, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, etc., are all on the second page. So for now, based on what's already ranking, you can see that backlinks is still the most decisive factor when it comes to ranking. Now, you still need good content, you still need a good website, etc., but that's basically it. Akash said I unsubscribed, so shout out to Akash. Thanks for unsubscribing. And how I solved it says, is there any scope for micro niche websites right now? So I would say I think with micro sites in general, I think this is one of the best niches to come onto. I might do a video tutorial on that in the future. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments, because this could be a really interesting topic. I think due to the volatility and the way that we probably need to diversify as SEO becomes, more and more temperamental and more volatile, microsites are actually one of the best solutions to that, but I could do more on that in the future. And Nicholas says, let's go. So we got to go, haven't we? And with that, I'm going to get straight into one of the next updates, but it's crazy to see that. So just to recap, right? We have seen Parasite, directories, Outlook India, Times Union, Post and Courier, SF Gate completely de-indexed from Google right now. Crazy stuff. We've seen manual action penalties and no algorithmic penalties just yet. So it's pretty wild to see that. We've also seen that some sort of French authorities have potentially blocked Outlook India and France. Pretty wild to see that all in one day. A lot of drama right there. And what I'm going to come on to now is some examples of sites that have actually taken a big hit. So let's run through that right now. So one of the examples, and what we'll actually do is we'll pull up some examples of keywords that are ranking right now, right? And so I'm just going to hit present and share my screen right here. And we can go to some examples. Let me stop sharing and let me hit share screen right here. There we go. All right, we're back in the game. All right, so what we're going to do is we'll put like best online casino just as an example to see what's ranking right now, right? And to see, okay, is it mainly affiliates or is it mainly like, sort of other pages ranking? What you can see, if we look at this first page right here, is that, for example, like USA Today are still ranking for best online casino. Now, USA Today is obviously it's not an expert in casinos, as far as I'm aware, but you can see that they're still ranking for affiliate keywords like this, where they can rank a directory, for example, like casino related directories, and then rank for those keywords and generate traffic. So it's interesting to see that even if you take some extremely competitive and very obvious keywords, a lot of parasites are still ranking. Now, will that change after the algorithmic update? I'm not sure. Potentially. But it's interesting to see that. Let's pull up another question. We've got a question by Asfa right here. He says, one of my blogs traffic tanked in the last update. The content isn't AI generated. It's good quality content with author bios. What may be the issue? Can not building backlinks be a reason? It came down from 2K a month to almost zero, but no manual penalty. What can I do about it? Okay, so this is a really good question. What I would say is, number one, if you look at the last update, the core update, and you look at the sites that got hit, right? So, for example, Wealth of Geeks got de-indexed, houseoffresh.com, they were actually buying products, reviewing them, had a team of experts, etc. Classic case, all the publisher case studies of like real businesses, real sites, real people, photographed in the office, and then Google posted it in the Google Publisher case studies section of their website for creating great content, right? So all of these sites were creating great content with humans, not AI, etc. And what I saw so far with these sites is that they weren't using AI, but quite often they were using ads on their website, right? So they had a lot of advertising on the website. Now, there's no conclusive evidence on that, so I'm not going to BS you and tell you like that's 100% the reason, but the biggest correlation that I've personally seen across all these sites, and I can only talk about my own evidence and my own analysis, is that sites with a lot of ads and a lot of affiliate links got hit. And that's mainly because I think they're not keeping that traffic within their own ecosystem. There's kind of like a quite honest signal that says we're sending this traffic elsewhere to another site. We're not like a real business, etc. So that could be the reason. But I don't know how you're monetizing your site, and I can't take a look at it directly. The other thing that I would say is if you're not building backlinks, for sure you need to build backlinks, because especially in this day and age, as I've shown with that particular example, if you're not building backlinks, then it's going to be very hard to rank. It's going to be very difficult to rank. And then what I would also say is that if you got hit by the core update, let's say you went from 2K traffic down to 0, one of the biggest problems with that is it's not necessarily about building backlinks, and it's not necessarily about using AI content or having ads on your website. The biggest problem with this is that now there's a classifier on your website that means you probably won't recover your rankings until the next core update. Like, it seems to be taking longer and longer to recover from algorithm updates when people get hit. So as an example of that, if you look at the HCU, the helpful content update last year in August and September, what you'll see there is that not a single website, bear in mind there's like billions of websites on the internet, and a ridiculous amount got hit during the helpful content update last year. What we're seeing across all of those sites is that not a single one of them has recovered their traffic. And what I also saw was that sites that got hit by the helpful content update back in August have now dropped even more. They got smashed even more, smashed up like a pancake in the March update. And so it's quite a brutal time. And it seems to be like there's a classifier on websites that got hit by the helpful content update, and there's a classifier of websites that got hit during the core update, which means that it might take like 6 to 12 to 13 months of data, click-driven user engagement metrics, before you actually get your traffic back. And that's if you've got good metrics. So it's pretty difficult. I would say, this is what I would personally do, is just start up new websites and look at diversifying your traffic. I think those are the two best solutions. And a lot of people will sit there complaining about Google or complaining about how it's so hard to do SEO now. A lot of people complain about algorithm updates, etc. I wouldn't worry about all that. I would just focus on the solutions and go, right, I'm going to build more websites and I'm going to diversify my traffic so that even if there is an update, I don't need to worry about it. So hope that helps. And Thorsten says, hey, Julian, shout out to Thorsten. And he says, hey, I stopped worrying about Google. I do see a substantial traffic increase from Bing, Yahoo, and your favorite search engine, DuckDuckGo. So I don't know I did do an April Fool's video on DuckDuckGo. I don't know anyone who's smashing it on DuckDuckGo, but shout out to Thorsten. Like, if you're killing it on DuckDuckGo, let's get you on an interview on how to optimize for it. But yeah, I've seen the same. Like, I know people who they got their website totally de-indexed from Bing. So the website doesn't get any, totally de-indexed from Google. The website doesn't get any traffic at all right now. And this is crazy. What you're about to hear is that this site then got earnings of like $1,000 a month purely from Bing traffic, right? So Google didn't like it, gets de-indexed, whatever. But then on Bing, it starts popping off and making $1,000 a month. And so it's pretty wild to see that. I think that, more and more Bing is rising in market share. I don't want to go on too much about that because I mentioned it in a lot of other videos, but yeah, if you're diversifying your traffic, shout out to you, Thorsten. Like, you're doing a good job. You're doing all the right things. How I solved it says EEAT for small websites, no EEAT for high DR websites. That's the thing, isn't it? For example, if you look at a lot of these big newspapers, yes, they might get a lot of mentions. Yes, they might get a lot of backlinks, but quite often it's very hard to find like who's the face of that website. Is it a real person? It's quite difficult to find that, especially on those Parasite pages where there's no one actually in the author bio of that particular page, but they still rank for whatever. And I think, if you look at facts over opinions, what matters most, personally, from the data that I've just shown you on this video live, you can see the backlinks are the most important ranking factor. So it's pretty crazy. And a lot of these big sites that are ranking, like DR90, DR80 websites. I want to pull up a couple more tweets that I found absolutely fascinating. This is a really interesting one from Matt Diggy that I know a lot of people watching this channel probably are big fans of Matt Diggy. He posts a lot of good content, but I'm going to post this tweet because it's very interesting, right? So you can see Matt said, as someone who is on both sides of the affiliate coin, aka he has his own websites, but he also does some Parasite SEO too. He said, I can say for sure that Google brought the Parasite problem on themselves. Building a website is better for multiple reasons. You own your site, you can flip it and compare it to a Parasite page, the same piece of review content, converts way better than the same content sitting on like these other Parasite pages, like almost 2 times as better. But when it's so difficult to rank your pages, and when there's so many sites getting smashed by the helpful content update, we've already had someone comment about that today, and we've also seen other people get hit by the helpful content update and the core updates this year as well. And these are sites doing all the right things. When all that's going on, and when it's so easy to rank parasites, and when Reddit is swallowing up so much traffic, it does kind of make sense. I can understand why a lot of SEOs would turn to Parasite SEO. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. Definitely wouldn't say that. But what I am saying is right now, when it's so easy to rank with Parasite SEO, and you're an SEO trying to make money, or you're an SEO under pressure from your boss and you're trying to make money for them, or you're trying to feed your family, etc., then what are you going to do? You're going to go to the way that makes money, right? And so it's quite interesting to see this mindset sort of switch, and to see like, yeah, I can understand why Parasite SEO would become a big problem and why this has happened. And it is down to so many people getting hit during these updates. Another post by a leader, and I've just collated basically some of the best posts from Twitter, because I think some of the best content doesn't get shared on YouTube in the same way. But what you can see here is that a leader says, Google has already started taking action for the new site reputation abuse policy. See the before, after for many of the most popular promo code queries, right? So Carhartt promo code, Postmates promo code, Samsung promo code, and GoDaddy promo code. So the sites that were ranking before and not anymore, the ones selected in orange, right? So for example, CNET, Glamour, Reuters, USA Today, CNN, Business Insider. Like, these are some of the biggest names on the internet when it comes to SEO and also to branding, just for a newspaper, right? And then you can see that some of these sites have actually been removed, right? So LA Times, Time Magazine, Wired, and Washington Post. And then later congratulates Google Search Liaison and Google Search for seeing the SERPs a bit more cleaner now. So let's have an example. So this is before and after. We've got GoDaddy promo code right here, and you can see Reuters, Glamour, and CNET coupons all ranking previously, right? After, Reuters nowhere to be seen, Glamour nowhere to be seen, and CNET coupons nowhere to be seen. Pretty crazy right there. Let's have a look. So we've got coupons.cnet. Let's see if we can find it on Google at all. They might have been removed completely in terms of their previous tracker. Let's check on Keyword Explorer and just try and find the original page for these. So I'm going to go on GoDaddy coupon code, plug that in, and just see if some of these pages are still there. So we've still got the pages from yesterday. So for example, like Reuters, you can see was ranking number 1 yesterday. It's nowhere to be seen now. Let's see if it's ranking on Google. So it's still there on Google, but it must have just dropped, maybe. Let's have a look. We'll put GoDaddy promo code and see if it's ranking. Yeah, so it's nowhere to be seen. That's quite interesting because it's still indexed. They've still allowed it to be indexed, this page from Reuters, but it's not showing up for the keyword. But I know that Google have said there's been no algorithmic penalties. They've all been manual action penalties. So it's interesting to see. Let's have a look at this page. We'll plug that into Ahrefs right there, and we'll just check some of the traffic. And we shall look at keywords for today versus tomorrow. So let's have a cheeky gander. So this was updated. All these are updated 14 hours ago, right? So let's fetch the new data on that. I'm using the credit just for you guys watching this. That's the sort of length I will go to. I'll use my Ahrefs credits and risk the payments that come through sometimes. And we'll see if that updates in a second. If you got any questions, by the way, feel free to post them just whilst we're waiting for this to upload. But it's crazy to see this too. Let's see if there's been any other updates on the Parasite site reputation abuse situation. So nothing crazy going on. Oh, we got a new tweet from Glenn Allsup. Shout out to Glenn. He says, since March, I've been monitoring, not monetizing. That's not even a word. And Glenn says, I've been monitoring 2,500 coupon focused terms to see what Google changes with their site reputation abuse update. To date, the manual action started, and here are some early insights. Oh, this is going to be a good one. All right. I've been tracking a lot of non coupon third party content, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of examples. This is just an example. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we can see all of these pages have been hit. These are massive, massive brands, right? So Google's taken this is probably some of the biggest action I've seen in terms of rankings. You can see, for example, the Mirror have been here, Express, Reuters, Daily Beast, The Telegraph, Business Insider, CNN, The Telegraph, Outlook India, GQ. Wow. No index, no index. Let's have a look. So gq.com/coupons. I just want to show an example. Let's have a look. Are they on there? Yeah. All right. Let's have a look and see how much traffic they were getting previously. So if we plug that in and we see where they're up to in terms of traffic, doesn't seem to be any data on it right there. Maybe I've typed in the wrong URL, but it is interesting to see what's going on right now. Let's have a look how much previously. Yeah. Let's check how much traffic the Reuters GoDaddy page was getting previously. We can see how much this has impacted their website. So if we plug this in right here, we can see that previously they were getting 40,000 traffic. Now, if that page is dropped and they've lost all the traffic for that page, that's a huge amount of traffic and a lot of money to lose, right? And so if all of these pages have been hit, you can imagine how much money that is going to cost them. Interesting times right there. You got that live. Shout out to Glenn also. Recommend checking out his Twitter right there. And we haven't got any more comments, so I think we'll leave it at that. Thanks everyone for watching. I just want to show you some examples of what is working right now, because I think this will be interesting for you as well. Just going to pull this up and share a few other things with you, because at this point you're probably like, what works, what doesn't, does Parasite SEO work, etc. So what I've actually done is I posted a few screenshots from the SEO boardroom recently, and even though I've had to blur out a lot of the stuff just to, obviously I've got to protect people publicly and that sort of thing, but you can see someone right here has launched a new AI website. As you can see, it's already making $750 a month. Sorry, $774 a month. That is quite a scalable strategy that is going on right there. If you want to find out more about that, check it out in the SEO boardroom right there. I also posted this new money-making method that ranked number 1 in 24 hours with step-by-step processes on how I did it, why I did it, the process, etc. And finally, this is one where one of the members in the SEO boardroom actually made $600 with one single email. It took him about 2 minutes to write, but I just want to use that as inspiration, because a lot of people are probably watching this and they're like, is SEO over? Is SEO dead? Does it work? Parasite SEO is getting hit. All these other sites during the helpful content update were getting hit, etc. If you want to find out what's actually working from real people, as I've shown examples of in the Discord group, feel free to check out the SEO boardroom. Links inside the comments description. And the price goes up like every 10 members. So if you want to get a discounted price, just go for it right now. And all types of everything says Amazon lost over 65% of their visibility. Google really doesn't care who you are or how big or small when it comes to their strategy. And I think that's a good thing, honestly. Like, I think a lot of independent publishers probably feel hard done by the recent updates. And so when this sort of stuff happens and bigger sites get hit, I don't like to see anyone get hit, right? I think it's pretty sad. Let's be honest, like, people might get sacked over this, people might lose their jobs, people are just trying to feed their family, etc. So I don't like to see any sort of negativity like this, but it is crazy to see what's going on and how big an impact this has all had. I'm going to pull up Amazon.com. We'll have a look and see if their site's traffic has dropped. I'm just going to try and find some updates. Just in the meantime, whilst I'm pulling that up, the Ken and Sussex Tea Company says, "Hey Julian, if ranking and traffic's been hit over the last 6 months, what steps would you do first to unpick how to recover?" So what I would actually recommend doing, first of all, is figuring out which update you got hit by, right? Because, for example, if you got hit during the helpful content update last year, and there's no other sites that have recovered from that, then you got to start thinking, number one, how can you build other sites? And number two, how can you diversify your traffic now? They would be the first two steps I would do. So number one, figure out which update hit you, and from there you can figure out, okay, what's the right type of action. So for example, if you got hit by the core update and the helpful content update, I would do all the right things fundamentally to fix your site. And then step number two would be looking at traffic diversification. And step number three would be just waiting, being very patient, because it might be like 13 months before you get your traffic back. Just no one knows right now. So it's pretty crazy to see that. And how I solved it says, is it the right time to launch a niche site? I've mentioned it earlier in this video. I think, and I've talked about it in other videos too, I think honestly the best way to launch a site these days is to focus on a real business. So for example, for us as an SEO agency, the only types of sites that I launch right now are not niche sites and not affiliate sites. They're sites driving traffic to the funnels that are already making money, because I know the conversion rates for that. I know all the stats, I've got the funnel set up, I already get 100% of the profits and the revenue. And so if I launch new sites driving traffic to the funnels that already convert, then I'm just going to make more money. I'm pouring more fuel into the fire, right? And I think that's the best way to look at SEO is like, don't try and start up like 100 different sites that are doing all sorts of different businesses and doing stuff with affiliate and niche, etc. I think the best way is to just get more traffic, maybe with microsites. I could do a video on that in the future if you want to see it, but basically get more traffic from other sources and fuel it to one funnel that converts really well. And if you want to learn how to build funnels, I've got videos inside my free SEO course. Link is inside the comments description. But yeah, I think that's one of the best ways to do it. I want to see Amazon visibility, but I can't actually find it. But it's interesting to see that. And if big brands are getting hit like that, I mean, bear in mind, like these are publicly traded stocks, right? And some of the biggest stocks in the world, like Amazon, massive, massive brands. So it's crazy to see that. So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate everyone who is watching this so far. I will keep you posted. I'm doing live updates this week as the update rolls out, because it's good to share the drama with everyone and share each other's thoughts. And I think as well, sometimes with these sort of situations, you want to know what's happening right now, not like a week later when you read some generic blog posts. It's better to just answer your questions live on the call, show you over the screen what's happening, and just give you the lowdown. Now, if you want to book in a free SEO strategy session where we can give you an SEO game plan directly on the call, where we can sit down together, you can get a custom tailored plan, we can give you a link building plan, we can show you exactly what you need to do to fix your site or to get it ranking better, we can come up with some keyword opportunities together, etc., then feel free to book that in. Just seen a question from Income Stream Surfers. I just watched your video actually yesterday, so shout out to Income Stream Surfers, who says, if you were to start a website now to make money, what would you do? So it depends if you're asking whether that's based on my current experience and what I have set up right now, or if I was starting from scratch. If I was starting from scratch, I would actually just set up a new agency, and then I would try and drive traffic from SEO, but other channels as well, and try and grow that, right? So I'd spend 90 days getting traffic from SEO, set up that website, get it ranking, hire a content writer, and then I would drive traffic to the agency via that way. And then I would do the same via, say, Twitter, spend 90 days on that, crack the code on it, and then via LinkedIn and YouTube and everywhere else. In fact, I'll probably start with YouTube out of everything. I think YouTube SEO, probably the best opportunity out of everything. And then, yeah, so if I had to start up a new website right now, I think I would start up an agency website. And that's personally because I think if you look at the future of SEO, or you look at the future of everything, right? It's like, what isn't AI going to replace? And I think AI isn't going to replace services. So people are always going to need human connection, and they're always going to need some sort of service. Like that's what we've done for thousands of years, buying services. And so I can imagine that over time, agencies are going to become more valuable. In fact, I was speaking to someone who owns a marketplace for buying and selling websites, and they were saying like how all the money that used to be going towards niche sites and affiliate sites is now transferring over to agencies, because agencies are one of those things that are very scalable, but also they're one of those websites where it's a real business. You're driving traffic to something that actually converts, and that actually creates massive value for a lot of people. So I think that's one of the best ways to do it. Yeah, I'd be interested to know what income stream. Maybe we should do a video together and talk through some of the stuff. Like, it'd be pretty cool to do a podcast with you, Income Stream Surfers, and yeah, it'd be a pleasure to do an interview with you. I know you got a lot of great insights. 4M45 says, hey bro, thanks for all the info. I want to join your coaching, but it's a bit pricey. So I have two different offers, right? So I have the SEO Elite Circle, which is the coaching program with me, and that comes with loads of other stuff like loads of free tools, guest sessions, It comes with 2 weekly calls with me. It comes with the old calls, 6-week roadmaps, etc. Loads of courses. But then if you want to join the community, that is actually a fraction of the price. And the price is going up every 10 members. So that's the SEO boardroom. And it's a lot cheaper than the coaching community. So it might be something you want to check out. Bear in mind, like now is the cheapest price you'll get at, because if you sign up now, you can lock in your price. If you sign up later, then if 10 more people buy, the price goes up. And if 10 more people buy after that, the price goes up again. So I just want to keep the community not too big. And I want to make sure the quality of the community is really high as well. So that's why we increase the price, and appreciate everyone who's watching. So thanks so much. And I will keep you posted on the next ones. See you later. Bye.